We start with the breaking news coming in. Hezbollah has confirmed the death of its leader, Hassan Nasrallah, in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut. The Israeli Defense Forces first announced his death with a statement saying that Nasrallah will, quote, no longer be able to terrorize the world. He was killed when Israel struck Hezbollah's underground headquarters in the city late on Friday. The attack flattened several apartment blocks in the densely populated area. Israeli officials reportedly estimated that 300 people may have been killed. Hezbollah later confirmed the death of the man who headed the Iran-backed militia group for some 3 decades and vowed to continue fighting Israel. Let's get more from journalist Stella Männer. She joins us now from Beirut. Stella, the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah now has confirmed the death of its long-term Secretary General and leader Nasrallah. What more can you tell us?
Day has announced the death of Hassan Nasrallah, and ever since then we have been waiting to hear from the organization itself, because the Hezbollah took quite a while, but now indeed they have confirmed that Hassan Nasrallah is dead. It's not really a surprise, because people have been speculating whether he's still alive or not ever since yesterday evening, when a big strike in Dahiyeh, the suburb of Beirut, happened, and Israel declared that the target of this big strike was Hassan Nasrallah itself.
More reaction at all from Hezbollah at this point?
Hezbollah has issued a written statement, and the overall language of this statement is very typical for how the organization communicates. It uses language like saying that Nasrallah has joined other martyrs on the other side and is at the side of God, which basically translates and he died. The organization in this statement also highlights that Nasrallah has served the organization for more than 30 years, and they also said that they are going to continue their fight.
And what are the reactions inside the country?
Nasrallah is a very controversial person. Many Lebanese people are against Hezbollah and also against Nasrallah. They see Hezbollah as their enemy because they feel like the organization has hijacked the state, as well as it is pulling the whole country into war. These people are quite happy to hear that Nasrallah is dead now, and they are celebrating his death over social media. More important is to see how Iran and the Iranian regime will react to Nasrallah's death. The leader of the Iranian regime, Khomeini, has already issued a statement where he condemned the attack, and where he said that it is not possible for Israel to further harm Hezbollah, which is seen as a clear message of support from the Iranian regime to Hezbollah.
What does this mean for Hezbollah?
Well, the death of Hassan Nasrallah is massive. It is very massive because the organization has now lost its most important leader. Hassan Nasrallah was a very charismatic leader. He was very popular among the members of Hezbollah because he was known for making a lot of jokes in his talks. He was known to speak like the urban dialect here and not Fusser, so he was known to be very close to the members of the organization. So the organization lost an important leader that was also a key figure for the whole so-called axis of resistance. Nasrallah was very importantly coordinating all the military attacks with the Iranian regime, and it will be very hard now for the organization to find someone who will fill this void, and it has definitely weakened the organization massively.
Our thanks to journalist Stella Männer in Beirut. Many, many thanks again. Israel has continued carrying out airstrikes on what it describes as Hezbollah targets across Lebanon throughout the day. Smoke was seen rising over Beirut after several attacks on the south of the city. The Israeli military said it had hit more than 140 targets since Friday night, with new attacks on southern and eastern Lebanon as well. Hezbollah has responded by firing rockets into northern Israel, as well as the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. For more, let's now speak to DW correspondent Tania Krämer in Jerusalem. Tania, what are you hearing from Israel regarding Nasrallah's death and possible retaliation by Hezbollah?
Well, this confirmation now by Hezbollah certainly ends all the speculation now. We've heard already some hours ago from the Israeli military that they had indeed killed Hassan Nasrallah in this massive strike on Friday night in Dahya, in a suburb in southern Beirut. And ever since, there were a lot of questions and speculation asked when it became clear that Hassan Nasrallah was the target. The announcement by the Israeli military also said that they had also, as they put it, eliminated several other senior commanders, and that is really seen here as bringing a blow, to a profound blow to this organization. Nasrallah had been leading Hezbollah for the last 30 years, as long as Israel is at war with Hezbollah, and his predecessor was also assassinated in 1992. And this comes, of course, after a week where we've seen Israel pressing on and pushing with military means. It started last week when the government said they're shifting the focus of the war to its northern border to bring the residents there that had been evacuated in October last year, and basically starting with these attacks on the pagers, on the walkie-talkies. Then more senior commanders were targeted, and then this massive air campaign starting on Monday, launched at southern Lebanon and parts of eastern Lebanon, and of course then these strikes on Friday night, and they're actually continuing as we speak. The Israeli military had also called on residents in some of the neighborhoods there in southern Beirut to leave their homes, and it's not yet clear the human toll of these strikes is still to see. But what's being discussed now in Israel is, of course, what will happen next. What kind of retaliation there is to expect. There are several scenarios whether Hezbollah and also Iran will decide to regroup, to step back, or whether we will see a massive retaliation now by an organization that has was dealt a very, very profound blow.
That's DW correspondent Tania Krämer in Jerusalem. Many, many thanks, Tania.